Hey guys, and welcome to Ozzie Reviews. Today I've got an update for you on the spotlight from Lightforce that I reviewed recently, the model CBSL240HID. Now what I had was an older model, and Lightforce were kind enough to get in touch with me and give me a few updates on some specs and so forth. So that's what I want to have a talk to you about today, so that any of you who are looking at ordering this spotlight are getting the most up-to-date information on it. So in front of me here you'll see I've got a brand new in the box 70 watt HID spotlight, the same model, the CBSL240HID. If you can actually see it on the video, you'll see here it says 70 watt 4200K. Now since doing the last review, Lightforce have been really good in giving me an education on different specs and what different things mean and so forth. So the K is a Kelvins rating, and the model that I had previously was 5000 Kelvins, whereas this one here is 4200 Kelvins. It's a lot better for hunting and has a lot better colour rendering, which is better for target acquisition. And it is a slightly yellower light as opposed to the really bright white light. So that's what we're going to do in this review. It's going to be an update. We're going to test it out on the field and see exactly how it looks. So let's unbox it and have a look at what's inside. So we've got our usual, this was what I had with the last one. This is just an updated version, instruction data. Now this particular spotlight now I've got here obviously is 70 watt HID, but it's 5.3 amps at 12.8 volts. So there's a slight bit of difference than what it listed itself as, you know, in the last data that came with my older model. Okay, so we've got a red filter here, so we'll test that in the field as well and see how that looks. We've got the spotlight there, so put that over the side, open the bottom of the box up here. So we've got the handpiece by the looks of it here. Yeah, and the bulb. Sorry about all the packaging here, guys. It's a fair bit here, but I wanted you to see it as it comes. So, okay, so we've got the cigarette car charger adapter, which obviously I'll be using. And it looks like we've got a battery adapter here as well. So assuming you can run this off your car battery. Okay, well I'll just take the main part of the spotlight and unpack it here. So I don't think there's too many changes here to the older model from what I can see, but let's open it right up and have a look. So yeah, it's going to be obviously the same position there for the on-off and switch. That's exactly the same. It's only this adapter here that's different, so let's move this box out of the way. Try to clear a little bit of room here if we can. Okay, so this obviously just plugs neatly in. You'll see there's a, just bring it up to the camera, there's a slot on the underside there and a slot in the adapter, so it can only go in one way, and then a little lock on the outside of it here. So that clicks in nice and neatly. Have to take the cover off the bulb as well. That off to the one side. Push down fairly firmly on that for it to actually pick up the track and screw on. So Yeah, so pretty much you're looking identical virtually to the older one, except for this adapter at the back that I didn't have on my model. I think that's a really good idea. I mean, we can just plug this one in here, so if you were using it from a car battery or just some battery in general, then it'll be quite useful. So the cigarette lighter, this is the one we'll use anyway. Let's have a look at this filter and see how that clips on. Okay, you just got the hooks that you got to just push to get over the side of the rim of the spotlight here. It's obviously a bit of a trick to it, I just haven't worked that out as yet. Okay, that's it there. Okay, so that sits on quite nice and firm. So, okay, well that's it there. That's the 4200 Kelvin spotlight. Now, for comparison purposes, I've also got here, let me just bring it over for you. I've got same model again, which is CBSL240HID, but this one here is in 6000 kelvins. Now, the reason why I've got this is to just do a comparison for you. So what we'll do is we'll take this out and we'll put the theory to test, basically, of what Lightforce is saying, that if you get something like 6000 kelvins, it'll actually be too bright. So your target acquisition and actually making out that detail in the light will be quite difficult. So I have to hand it to them, guys. Straight up, Lightforce have been excellent with giving me the feedback and also helping me out with any information I needed. So what we'll do is we'll take this out and we'll take the other one out, give it a run around the farm, and let's just see exactly how they look. Okay, so we've got my original spotlight, which is the 5000 Kelvin power spotlight. Now if we just focus on the trees, we'll just watch it warm up. Now what I would like to demonstrate here is just the difference between the white light and then when we drop down to the 4200 kelvins, just how that'll have a slightly more yellow tinge to it. And we'll see the difference of what we can actually pick up in regards to detail. So I'll just span back. I mean, that tree there is only about probably 20 meters away. We'll go back down to the further trees, and they're probably getting on to about 40-50 meters just in the background there. And I'll just pan around slowly just so we can see the detail. Now, as you can see, and especially from the last review, this spotlight is extremely powerful. So what we're going to try to determine is just whether or not we can pick up more detail with the 4200 light. Okay, so we'll just turn on the 4200 Kelvin. Now you can see as it's heating up, I can see here just with the naked eye, it's just dropped that bit of reflective bright white that I was getting with the 5000 Kelvin one. It's just got rid of that just slightly. And you can see there that the report is right from Lightforce when they say it'll just give that slightly more yellow tinge to it. So to me, from here just with the naked eye, I'm not too sure whether the video will show it or not, but I can actually make out just a little bit clearer detail because there isn't that bit of reflectiveness coming back. So let's pan over to the shrubs in the background here. Let's have a look at a tree there that's about 25-30 meters away. And just looking at that, I can see what they mean there, definitely. I mean, I can make out quite a bit of detail there with just individual small leaves and the small branches. So we'll just pan across to our left. We'll go to some trees further back in the background. So that's coming out about 40-50 meters there. And once again, you can really see the difference in the detail with just picking it up just with the naked eye. So as I mentioned in the intro to this review, Lightforce had said by dropping down the Kelvin rating from 5000 to 4200 that it'd just be a lot better for hunting applications. Okay, so I've plugged in the 6000 Kelvin spotlight now. We'll go to the same bush there about 10 meters away and we'll just let the beam warm up. Now you can see just how much more white light that produces, and that is quite a reflective beam coming back on me here. So really in close distances, 10 meters up to 30 meters, you're going to get that reflectiveness from what I'm seeing here. So we'll just span back onto the tree we were looking at before, and I can see there once again it is definitely more of a white light. So my personal preference would definitely be for the 4200 Kelvin rating spotlight. This here just seems to be a lot of white light, and you've actually got to look harder to make out the individual detail. We've got the 4200 Kelvin spotlight here in just a typical distance that you would be for spotlighting for rabbits or something like that. Now in the last review, when I was using my older spotlight, the 5000 Kelvin one, there was a fair bit of brightness, and I do remember making mention of it. You can definitely see here, with just dropping it down there by 800 kelvins, there's just a lot more detail you can make out, because you just don't get that reflectiveness which I've mentioned a couple of times already. Okay, so we've got the 4200 Kelvin spotlight on again. I'm just focused in at some trees about 100 meters, 120 meters away. Now we'll just let it warm up again. It's just exactly the same as the 5000 Kelvin rating light that I previously reviewed. It just needs a few seconds, I find, to warm up. And as you can see there, it starts to get just a slight yellow tinge there once it is warmed up. Now, if we go down to the base of the trees there, I mean, that's a fairly average sort of shooting distance, 100, 120 meters when you're out hunting. And you can see there the amount of light that it throws there, and also the detail that you can make out around the base of the trees. So, you know, depending on your game, obviously, and the size of the game at that distance and what optics you're using, you can definitely make out the detail with no problem at all. So let's move it more up to the left now, and we'll try to go back a bit up towards the mountain. Now, I'm on some trees now. We're starting to get way back there. That's about 400 meters back now, and you can see the beam just powering through there. Now keep in mind, there's a bit of mist around, because once again here on the farm it's a little bit chilly tonight, so we've got a bit of condensation and a bit of mist in the air. But you can see there, I mean, that's completely unreal. To be able to get a spotlight shoot out at that distance and still be able to make the detail is absolutely fantastic. Okay, what I'll demonstrate for you guys too is Lightforce actually have filters for their spotlights. So this is just the red filter here. So I'll just pan it around just so you get an idea of what sort of light penetration and distance you get with it. So I'm looking down at the bottom of the ridge there, so we're probably about 40, 50 meters away there. And you can still see that you can make out quite a bit of detail there. It just seems to just take the edge off the beam, obviously, with the red filter. So I'll bring it back to just a closer part here, about 10 meters away, just on the ground. And you can just see what it looks like from there. Okay guys, so that's the updated handheld 70 watt HID spotlight from Lightforce. It's definitely better in my opinion from the tests I've done here on the farm, having that 4200 Kelvin bulb. So thank you very much to Lightforce for sending that to me and clearing up a few of the stats there that I only had on the older model. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the review. Please remember, Ozzie Reviews is my channel on YouTube, and I'm also on Facebook too. Please log on, feel free to leave comments, and we'll get more done in the future.